Alright, this is Nash here, and a lot has been happening on the 40 acres since I last put out my A.D. Mitchell video. Now, the Texas Longhorns have officially hired Chris Jackson as the wide receiver coach. I will say, I was in the camp of let's get samples, but another Margin Hooks reference guy, I believe, Chris Jackson, headed to the 40 acres. Why is the video out so late? I wanted to kind of sit back, give some time, and go, you know what? Let me develop some thoughts, and here they are. You're going to receive them right now. So if you like the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts on Chris Jackson as a wide receiver coach. I will say something awesome. He's already out there on the wide receiver trail, on the recruiting trail, going after Micah Hudson, 5-star wide receiver in the 2024 class. Now, and let's just start off with that. That's something that's kind of an unknown. It's like a mystery box, if you will. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get. Do we have an ace recruiter in Chris Jackson? Maybe. Do we have a dud recruiter in Chris Jackson? Maybe. But at the end of the day, we hired Coach Chris Jackson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He does come from the Doug Peterson tree, and anytime that Doug Peterson is gonna stamp off on a guy, well, I'm willing to listen to him on that one. All right, sorry I had to fix the brightness real quick, but we're hopping right into it. All right, 47 years old, out of Bristol, Pennsylvania, attended Mater Dei High School out of California. If it's Mater Dei, those Californians, they're weird, but whatever. He's out of a prestigious high school out of California, but did not play football. Similarly to Isaiah Neyor, he got a late start in football. Now, Isaiah Neyor did get a sooner start than he did, but it's a little bit of a parallel that he might be able to take towards coaching Isaiah Neyor, a guy like that. He didn't play football until going to Orange Coast Community College. Then he went to Washington State and played football with a guy under quarterback, Ryan Leaf. He ended up playing Tom Brady. They barely lost to Tom Brady and Brian Griese, I believe is his name. NFL career, he dabbled in the NFL. Had a few years where he's on roster, not getting a lot of snaps, really a special teams guy. But at the end of the day, making it onto an NFL roster, 53-man roster, that's, like I've said with all of our Texas Longhorn guys, like Lil Jordan Humphrey, Marcus Johnson, who actually got to play in the playoffs this year. That's no small feat with these guys. And landing on a 53-man roster, that at the end of the day, that's hard. And when I mean hard, I mean that it's hard in two ways. It's hard, and it's hard to do. But then he went to the AFL, the Arena Football League, and he had himself a career there. This dude went off. When I say went off, I mean, and I'm saying he's fifth in reception. I'm not talking one season. These are career stats, history books. There have only been 4 other guys to have more receptions than him in Arena Football League history. He's 5th in career receiving yards in Arena Football. And then he's 2nd in career touchdowns. This dude's a stud, okay? He's a stud. Coaching career, he began a very humble coaching career. Began coaching wide receivers at Liberty High School before landing a defensive assistant role in 2019. And this is one of the coolest parts about him, right here. Before coaching wide receivers as an assistant for the Bears in 2021 and 2020, and then picked up by Doug Peterson and Jaguars in 2022. Now, like I said, so how did he land that defensive assistant role in 2019 with the Chicago Bears? In 2018, he was given an opportunity as a part of the NFL Bill Walsh Diversity Coaching Fellowship. So I'll put the background up right here. This has done some really good things for the NFL, and not just the NFL, but coaches in general. And it's no small part why we have Chris Jackson as a wide receiver coach, a full-time wide receiver coach at the University of Texas. So, quote, Coach Walsh first introduced this camp as this concept to the league in 1987 when he brought a group of minority coaches to the San Francisco 49ers to a training camp. Now, the fellowship is designed as a vocational tool to increase the number of full-time NFL minority coaches within the league while exposing fellows to the methods and philosophies of NFL coaching staffs. The programs, so you'll see right here, one of the bullet points that I want to highlight, because this is what happened. The program's objective is to use NFL clubs, training camps, off-season workout programs, and mini camps to give talented coaches opportunities to observe, participate, gain experience, and ultimately gain a full-time NFL coaching position. Now, Chris Jackson, he's not in the NFL, but he did get a full-time NFL head coaching position, or not head coaching, misspoke. He did get a full-time NFL coaching position as a wide receiver coach under Doug Peterson, who, a former Super Bowl, he is a highly regarded coach. His mind is highly regarded. He took and if there ever was a doubt, he took a disastrous Jaguars program, building, whatever you want to call it for the NFL. It's a little bit different than college. But he took a disastrous Jaguars, and he took them into the playoffs. Like, they were a legit playoff team this year. So, to get a sign-off by him, that's like a Saban type sign-off. But Chris Jackson ended up a full-time position in the NFL. This thing works. This Bill Walsh thing works. And I just thought that was a really cool thing. Like, it's a really cool tidbit on how he got here as a Texas coach. He was just some guy that had previously played with Matt Nagy in the Arena Football League. And he was coaching wide receivers in high school. And bam, what do you know? He gets to go do a training camp, dabble in the NFL a little bit. Next year, he's hired on as a defensive assistant. And before you know it, he has a full-time position with the Jacksonville Jaguars on a playoff run. Now, results. This is what we want to see as Longhorn fans. So, buckle up. Coach Jackson has experience working with younger guys, Darnell Mooney, and then if you consider Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. Those dudes, Christian Kirk has 6 years in the NFL, 1995 born, and then Zay Jones, 5 years in the NFL, 1996 born. If you're calling them old, just don't call them old, okay? Don't pad me just a little bit more, okay? Call them young. Under Coach Jackson as an assistant coach. So it's an important designation, but at the end of the day, he was a coach inside the room, so he deserves some sort of credit. Under Coach Jackson as assistant coach at Chicago for the wide receivers, Darnell Mooney saw a significant rookie campaign. So pull that up right here. These are his rookie stats, 2020, and then his 2021. Those are going to be his sophomore campaign stats. But had a breakout sophomore year, reaching 1,055 yards at Jacksonville as a wide receiver coach. So this is now no assistant role. And you'll see right here, this was the wide receiver room that he had. And I'll go on to a point that I don't know if you've noticed it right there yet, but I do have a point to go on about that room. But for now, back to it. So as a wide receiver coach, Marvin Jones saw regression. The younger free agents and Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, they saw some really good years. Zay Jones, he was 20 yards short of getting his first 1,000-yard year campaign. Really cool. So he actually, and I don't know if you've seen this, there was like an interview with Derek Carr talking about how Zay Jones, one of the hardest working guys. It was like a primetime deal. It was just, Zay Jones is one of those guys that you really want to root for. So that was cool to see him do well. And then Christian Kirk, he saw a second 1,000-yard receiving season. First season over 1,200 yards. And then as well as finishing just one catch short of 100. And then as well as Zay Jones, 5 catches short of 100. So, now that brings up that stat. That was a good... I do that all the time. I do it wrong. That was a good receiver room. They were 4th in the NFL. When you consider wide receiver tight end duos, because Travis Kelce is a wide receiver. That's what he is. Miami and Kansas City, 204 catch duo. Tampa Bay, 197 catch duo between Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And then 194 with Jacksonville with Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. I mean, these dudes, they had one heck of a year under Chris Jackson as a wide receiver coach. So the results are there, and that's something that we can take away. Now, back to that Jacksonville wide receiver room. If you noticed it, they have a ton of targets between two guys. And there is a third guy that has a lot of targets. You got Marvin Jones up there. And you can't see the snaps on here, but this is all the wide receivers that got snaps. There were 5 wide receivers that got snaps all year long. And that reminds me a lot of Texas in 2022. I mean, the dispersion of targets wasn't a lot. It was, if it wasn't Xavier Worthy, it was Jordan Whittington catching the ball. And when we're talking specifically wide receivers. And if it wasn't that, it was Casey Kane. Other than that, you have a target here for O'Meary, a target there for Brennan Thompson, who that probably triggers some fans. Another thing, all these guys, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Jamal Agnew, the veteran guy Marvin Jones doesn't fit this mold, but Darnell Mooney. The other thing that all those guys share, they're all blazing fast. Those are 4.4 dudes. 4.4, sub 4.4 guys. And that's what we're bringing him in to coach, is fast guys. Fast guys, young guys. So these are areas that he has had experience in as a coach. And hopefully we have ourselves a new up-and-coming guy. And we may have nothing to think but this. I just think this is a really cool thing because he may not have been coaching without that. So, who knows? But at the end of the day, what we do know is Chris Jackson is the coach of the University of Texas wide receiver corps. Let's hope we can get some progression, not regression. All right, everybody? Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all took something away from this video. And as always, hook 'em!